thought I'd do a quick video on how to replace the LCD and digitizer on your Garmin 920 XT. I know you can take off the front glass on by itself if you heat the adhesive behind the glass up with a hairdryer or a heat gun, but I've opted to replace the full LCD and digitizer. I think it's easier, especially since the glass is shattered into so many pieces. So you're going to want the LCD and digitizer replacement, which you can see on the left. I'll put the link in the description and also the link for the screwdrivers that I've got. You actually only needed 2 screwdrivers out of this set that I got, but I'll try to find a better link. So yeah, let's get into it. So as you can see, my watch still works. I can still record runs and bikes on it. It's just the glass that's shattered on the front. I didn't want to take it swimming because I didn't know if there are any gaps in there, and you don't want to get water leaking into the circuitry. So before you undo these screws, you actually want to turn your power your Garmin off. I didn't do that. You should have done it. You should do it before you unscrew anything. And you're going to want to take this hexalobe screwdriver that you'll get. I think it's a hexalobe. It's got 6 points. Or it's a star screwdriver or something. And undo these 4 screws. And once you've taken them off, there's going to be this ribbon cable that's still attached to this back plate. You've got to be really careful with that because the ribbon cables tear very easily, and also keep your screws organized. So you keep your screws where you know they went. So yeah, be careful with that ribbon cable. You're going to take the ribbon cable off with this blue spatula that you get in the toolkit. It just clicks together and clicks out, just like Lego. So it's not very hard. And then you just set that to the side once you've taken that off. So next, you're going to want to take this other Lego bit out. It attaches the display to the motherboard, I think. I think that's what it's doing. And that just comes off like Lego as well. It should just look like that. And be careful, this is another ribbon cable, so be careful of tearing it. You don't want any side to side movement. You can have back and forth like that, but anything that twists or anything that twists will basically tear it. So next you're going to want to take these 2 screws off that are holding down the motherboard. Just to the left and the right, and then once you've taken them out, remember to keep them in an organised sort of pile so you know where they went. And it should pop up. Now you've got to be careful that you've got your final ribbon cable. This is the hardest one to take out and also put in. So yeah, I'll show you that. Just be careful, just flip it back, and then you might have to twist your watch around so you get a better view of it. Like that. Now I'll pause it. How do I pause it? Right, okay. Here we go. Let's get a pen. Right, so let's get better colour. Red. Right. So there's a black line where that arrow is pointing to, a black piece of plastic just above the grey, thicker bit of plastic. And that's the thing that you want to pull out and push back in to release the ribbon cable. I think this was the case. It was really hard to tell when I was doing it because it only comes out, it comes out very slightly. So there's 2 lips. There's one that side and then there's one this side. You're going to want to use your blue spatula to gently pull on both sides of both edges. So pull it up towards this big grey thing. So in that direction. And once you've done that, it should come loose after a bit of wiggling, but it really does take a bit of patience. I didn't know it was the black thing at first because I thought it was a different ribbon cable connector. I actually pulled that grey thing up and proceeded to snap it. So I've done that so you don't have to. But yeah, it does take quite a while to do that. How do I get out of this? Right, there we go. Okay, next. Right, yeah. So you can see there, I snapped the grey bit of plastic because I tried to lift it up. Luckily, I didn't do too much. Well, I did damage, but it didn't really matter that I snapped it. So after you've taken it out, you're nearly done. You just need to take out that red gasket. So that's what keeps it waterproof, I think. And you want to put that gasket back on your new LCD and digitizer. I don't think I did that straight away. But yeah, you're nearly done then. So after you've done that, you want to take your new LCD and digitizer and take off these two screws, because the ribbon cable that we just took out is really hard to get back in. So I thought that taking off this metal plate at the back would make it easier. I'm not sure if in the end it did, because this metal plate was actually really hard to get back in as well, but I did it anyway. It just gives you a bit more space to move the ribbon cable around. So once you've taken that out, make sure you organize your screws again, know where they are. And then you want to try. Yeah, I just took a picture because I could not film whilst doing this. This is probably the hardest bit. You want to kind of get your thumb to the edge of the ribbon cable. So the ribbon cables, if you imagine your ribbon cables in your left hand and the circuits in your circuit boards in your right hand, you want to try and get the ribbon cable to align with the connector and then press against the edge. Use the neck of the ribbon cable to press against the edge of the circuit board with your thumb, and then start wiggling it in that way. That's the best way I can describe it. That's how I did it basically. But that takes a long time to do. It was very frustrating. You just need patience to get through that. But after I did that, I think I managed to get the black strip down. I'm not sure if I did it fully, but either way, it's pretty sandwiched in that watch there, so it won't move around much as long as you've got the connector in. Now you can tell that you've got the connector in if you see these two tabs. Let me get my pen again. So that tab and that tab. You know you've got your connector in if the tabs are above that green edge, that border. If your tabs are sticking out there and there, then it's too low and it hasn't gone in properly. So you want to make sure that they're above this green line here. And once you've done that, it's pretty much, well, it's pretty easy after this. It's just clicking together Lego bits. So what do I do here? Right, yeah, you need to get this metal plate back in. So this is a tricky part. That amount of twisting in the ribbon cable is all right. It won't tear it, but you don't really want to do much more than that. So you can get your screwdriver in at the sides and then screw that back in. That little blue thing's squashable, so it should be a bit hard to get in. After that, you want to take, I think I took the gasket out now. Yeah, I took the gasket out. So just take it out with your fingers. Just hooped around that ribbon cable there. And then put it in your new one. It should just sink into that groove. Like so, if I actually get it. Just make sure it's pressed around. There we go. Okay, so next, I took my two screws that held down the circuit board and put those back in. Make sure when you're doing that, you don't do one screw too much too soon. So make sure you do one screw a bit, then put the other screw in and do that a bit, then the left screw a bit, then the right screw a bit, then the left screw a bit until it's firmly down. Because if you put one screw in too much, it will crack the circuit board. So yeah, after you've done that, you then want to put down that Lego piece again. Just click it into place. And then you're nearly done. Want to connect the battery up again and click that back in. And then now you want to test if it works. So you've got your fingers crossed and hope that it turns on by holding the power button down. Mine did, thank the Lord. And then you want to start screwing it back up. Oh yeah, right. So my enter button didn't work, and that was because the silver plate that we took out, I think I get a shot of it here. There we go. I'll pause it. Where is it? Right, okay. The silver plate that I took out, I didn't screw the left screw down enough. So this connector here, when I pressed down on the enter button, it wasn't making contact. So that means all I had to do, I mean, it was a bit of a hassle. I had to undo everything I did with the Lego bits, take the circuit board off, and then just screw that down a bit more. And then whilst I was there, I also screwed that down a bit more as well. But that'll be the reason if your enter or back button isn't working after this, that'll be the reason. You just want to screw it down a bit more. And that's metal, so it won't crack as easily as the circuit board. So don't worry about screwing down too tight. And then, yep, so the enter button worked after this. And the back button. So everything was looking good. I came across my next problem at this stage when I tried to screw the 4 screws down. I don't think I've got a picture of it. Yeah, basically the circuit board, the 2 screws that screwed down the circuit board, I didn't tighten them enough because I was being quite wary, which you should be as well. So only do it as much as it really needs to. And so the screws weren't able to screw down. It was the circuit board was kind of it was too thick basically. It wasn't allowing the back plate to go down as much. So I just took everything off, screwed the circuit board down a bit more, and then I was finally done. Yep. So the next step would be to take off these straps, the straps that you had on before, but I didn't have to. You need. Where is it? Let me just pause it. Right. Okay. So that screw there is also a hexalobe. I don't know if it's called hexalobe or a star screwdriver or something, but it's a different sized screwdriver to the one that we've used in the rest of the watch screen replacement. You get that in the pack that I bought as well, but you need a second one because if you just turn one side, then the other side turns as well. So I haven't actually done that yet. I haven't taken my straps off yet. But all you need to do is I'll put a link in the description on the screwdrivers that you need to get, but you need to get 2 of those screwdrivers. So you can hold one in place and then turn the other. And then I think that's about it. Yeah, just check that it charges, the contact points are all in place, and then you're good to go. Overall, it is pretty tricky when it gets down to that last ribbon cable, and you do need a bit of patience and to wiggle it around a bit, but eventually you will get it in. You can use a bit more force than you think you should on that last ribbon cable, because I tested basically how to do it with my old ribbon cable from my old screen. So if you want to test how to take it in and out, use your old one, so you're not worried about tearing the ribbon cable or anything, and then you'll be able to judge how much force you can put into it. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you fix your screen if you need to, and thanks for checking the video.